recorded live.
Hello, everybody.
Here we are again.
I hope everyone can hear us. Wednesday tonight, I'm very happy to be with you all. So much has happened lately, and I know many people out there are complaining, let's say, or not really complaining, but talking about neck pains and pains in the belly, or at least a very tender belly from time to time. And I just want you all to know that if you're experiencing one of these symptoms at this time, we're all going through it. Most of us, all three of us here at the same time, are going through that. And I just want you to know that it's normal. It's right on schedule. Actually, I don't know how many people out there are aware of Karen Bishop's work. She's got a website called www.emergingearthangels.com. That's her new website, and she's got a regular posting that she does there called Wings. And on the last one, there was a lot of interesting stuff, wasn't there?
Yes, there was a lot of it that I have been, almost everything was upset me.
Yeah, about getting stuck and not getting forward, all of it. You also read it. It's from Shalalea too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found it that it really was very specific to the three of us, so there may be more of you like that too.
Yeah, and I guess that, like all of you out there, we also have been feeling in the last few weeks or months even that so many things have been going on. And many people who have been following our work, or let's say the fall and rise of our work in the last year or so, just a little phoenix rising from the ashes, we'll know that a lot of things have been shifting and changing, and I'm sure that this is going on with everybody. All I can say is we, in the last few months, after a very interesting 40-day experience in Montana, USA, about which we'll talk in a little minute, in the last few months, we've been trying to get our website online, and we've been trying to get all of these things to work, to start our symposia, to start bringing out the new messages, the Alchemy of Ascension series. And it has taken us quite an effort. I mean, it was not difficult or anything, but it was wasn't it like a constant push, plowing through?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But
and a lot of it had to do with the stuff that was rising up for us to release too. I mean, we on good days we worked, and on the other days we
worked. But in a little bit of a different way. The programming was happening on the inside instead of on the computer.
Some days we were smiling, and other days maybe not.
Well, if you would have turned our face around, it would have been smile.
Exactly.
So we're finally on the air now with our new website, Pioneers College, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But what I wanted to say about that plowing period, I don't want anyone to think that I'm complaining or anything, because the weird thing about that whole period was, and we're kind of at the end of it now, that while there was the feeling of that plowing going on, there were also extreme highs and beautiful moments where we really connected to ourselves and found out so much and released so much. So it's been an interesting time. I just hope that I'm
almost done.
Yeah. I'm kind of reminded here, guys, about that blog that Elizabeth Weiss posted on Shalalea the other day about the whole May period and June period, about the Mayan calendar, which is interesting because the Mayan calendar, it's been around for so long now. I mean, it's been out there, and we are getting into a time frame where so many people are discovering it and understanding it like they never have, In the past, with so many people, it was just all these little symbols, and it didn't really mean anything, but we're really getting to see the workings of it. And according to the Mayan calendar, the month of May, and especially around the weekend of 9, 10, 11th of May, we're supposed to actually hit a very intense spot of creational release, which means that a lot of these things which have been going on now for so long with all of us have really hit the zenith moment, which means that the things that you have been working on within yourself and within the world out there are about to start moving. And we kind of, if we look at the Mayan calendar, see that happening in the period of May. That weekend is going to be a big burst. And then, of course, the solstice of June, I believe Barbara Ann Cloud talks about that a lot as well. So we're hitting some good spots.
Yeah, and that I was laying down for a while this afternoon because I've been kind of going through some symptoms myself today with my neck and the belly. But I was listening to the Freedom Chronicle with Akara, where he's talking about that, 99.9 blah, 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 and, like just one teeny tiny 100% can keep you out of where you really want to be. Mm-hmm. And so it may seem like you're not really getting anywhere, and then all of a sudden you get that last little leg out of the way, and poof. So I'm hoping that's going to be something like what happened in the middle of May.
And we all know that.
At least somewhere in my psyche anyway.
Well, we all know that reality is imagination, so if we all start imagining with Faye really hard right now, we just might do it.
Oh, okay. Is this better?
Probably. Well, if is your mic turned on?
Turned on.
Okay, so it's all plugged in, so you're good to go.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, we actually not had a couple, but a ton of questions that have been sent in over the last week or so, or a couple of days, actually. Yeah, and months. There's been questions that have been waiting to be answered for a long time, but also in the last few days, we've got a lot of questions coming in, and what we're going to do today is we're going to be answering some of those questions ourselves, and also we're going to be bringing Ikara in for a visit, who's been waiting for a long time to drop by. And he's going to be answering some of those questions that you specifically asked towards him or Kutumi or, any of the others. So we're going to be doing that. And then we'll just see how everything turns out and what direction it goes into, right?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. We should go into some of the questions that we had been receiving about us.
Yeah,
like
someone has been asking about what happened in Great Falls. They've heard some things about it, and they want to know what happened. Well,
Ambika, you're on.
Well, we were in the States, and the 3 months of the visa were gone, so someone had told us, a lawyer had told us, if you just drive to Canada and then come back after 2 days, they can bother you, but they'll always let you in again, and you'll have a new 3-month visa for the States. So we drove to Canada, and at the border, for some reason, they didn't allow us into Canada.
We had an amazingly beautiful experience. I choose to see it that way. That pushed a lot of old energy out of our system, according to Kutumi, who sent us an email about the very thing. Thank you, Kutumi, out there in New Mexico. Gotcha. Anyway, so then we got to the border, yeah.
And they were talking to us, and they kept us waiting, and then it turned midnight, and our visa really was gone. And they told us that both Jeshua and me had to be deported back to Europe. And in the beginning, they were like, it's all not that bad. Just put you on the plane, and in the end, they said, you have to be detained for 1 day, 1 night. It turned out...
more night.
Yes. It turned out about a lot of 1 more
40
night.
more nights.
This is not a talent show. This is an ascension show.
Well, it's all of those things that Elizabeth has been posting with, what's her name again, Susan Boyle. I think I can do the same thing.
You can.
Soul kicks.
So that's kind of what happened. We spent 40 days in jail and then came back to Europe. And it's indeed what Jeshua said. Of course, at the moment, it wasn't a really fun experience, but I'm sure that we heard, that we learned a lot about it. It was really coming in touch with our soul here.
Really, and, there's no point in really going into the whole 40-day experience. But the beautiful thing about that was that a lot of stuff got obliterated, and we had a chance to step into a beautifully new creation, and much more. But anyway, just because so many people have been asking about that, we wanted to let you know what was happening. And right now, we have not really any plans to go back into the United States at this point, although, Adamus has been telling us that very shortly from now we probably will. But we do have plans in a little while to go to Mexico, I believe, and Argentina, and Colombia, yeah, for a little South American tour.
And we asked to Australia.
And New Zealand. And, of course, we'll be going to England.
Also Tokyo.
Yes, Tokyo, that as well. So all of those things are going to be on our website soon, and you'll find all information about that on there. So we're really looking forward to the coming time, because maybe we could talk a little bit about our experiences here in the last few days. What happens if you start actually experiencing, let's say, sensory deprivation, like Faye has been discussing with us and probably we'll talk about in a little minute. And actually what's been happening, as Akara has been sharing with us in the last few days, is that work on our senses has begun, which also includes the 5 senses that we currently work and interact on a reality level with. So, for instance, the eyesight, which has always been in the lowest frequency bandwidth possible, the slowest, I should say, frequency bandwidth within the vibration of eyesight, has been raised up to a higher frequency. And that actually is impacting the sensory input that we are receiving. But maybe you can talk a little bit about that, if you want to, the whole sensory deprivation.
Well, I had a bit of a rough day yesterday, and so that took us into some conversations. And along the way in all of that, where we're living right now had started to feel very restrictive. And normally I'm not, it's just not a big deal where I am. It's not something that I normally pay much attention to. So I thought that was kind of strange. And so we've kind of dug into that a little bit deeper. And the place where we are is very simple. The ceiling is exposed beams and boards, so it almost has an unfinished look to it as well. And so there's just not a lot here that your senses can kind of dig into. It's very quiet as well. So somewhere a few days back, even though I was within myself kind of in a complaining mode about it, I also saw the opportunity and the relevance of being in a situation like this, because it seemed pretty clear to me that it would be personalities that would be really wanting to connect to all the things that I had in the past. So I just, and that particular part was something that would be easier for me to let go of without it feeling like a sacrifice or feeling deprived. So I just said, well, I'll just kind of start working with it on that level, almost like being in a well, not a temple because it doesn't look, but some kind of almost like being quarantined or remote or very isolated feeling.
Yeah, even though we're in the city.
I could see, exactly. But I could see that it was assisting me, even though I wasn't really comfortable. But I could see that it was really assisting me.
Yeah.
And then we went and had lunch, and all of the food was everyone's food, which is really, really bland.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I'll let you, if you want to share what you got in regards to the sensory thing. I don't know if you...
Some Adamus?
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. Yeah, well, Adamus actually shared about that. Again, actually, I've already talked about it a little bit, about our sensory motion moving out of the lowest frequency and into the higher frequency. So that's being reset right now, which means that we get this whole, this whole sensory overload if there are enough material things around us and enough motion and movement and things like that. So I don't know if anyone else has been feeling, if you go out on the streets, let's say if you're in a city or something like that, and if there's a lot of traffic and noise around, what you've been experiencing there. But for us, oh man.
Yeah, when I
remember that time that we went out for dinner on things?
Yeah, and when I go out, of course, I'm in a place that this is my first time in Europe, certainly my first time where we are, and we're surrounded by a lot of stone buildings, stone streets, and it was like I love stone, but the stone was almost overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
And just all of trying to take in there, it was just almost like sensory overload. It was just like being overly stimulated, which is not typical for me. I don't usually have a problem with that.
Yeah, yeah.
The funny thing is sometimes we feel like, let's go out, we want to be outside, and most of the time we just one bag.
Yeah.
Wanting to be back here.
Literally.
It's
we have literally walked very quickly.
It's actually been better lately, but still, it's there. There's actually an interesting question here that I want to address from Blue Ray Rose, who says, I keep seeing things like DNA strands in my eyes from the inside. Anyone the same? And actually, Blue Ray Rose, or I'm just going to call you Rose, I can tell you that, yes, I have been experiencing that. Although for me it haven't been DNA strands, but every night I go to bed, usually, sometimes during the day. And what I wanted to get to is when I close my eyes, actually I will have these, I can only call it like light radar rays or something that kind of pan from the top of my eyesight to the bottom when my eyes are closed. And whenever they do, it's almost like a Xerox machine or something, because anytime they do, there is like a residual effect of looking through the material world and seeing some sort of construction behind it, which would then be my brain trying to translate the vibrations and frequencies it's actually beginning to see now, because the vibrations of our eyes and of our senses are increasing, but still being translated by the brain in some sort of construct because it wants to keep it within the 3D reality. But yeah, so I have been having that. And in your case, if it are DNA strands, well, it's very clear. That just means that they're being worked on by you probably, that you are probably becoming aware of those, that they're activating, that they're, as Lorian and Ikara have been saying in the Alchemy of Ascension series, that they're connecting to the Akonai in the top of the head, the pineal gland, and beginning to connect to the Adonai at the passion chakra, let's say, at the bottom of the belly. So that's probably what's happening with you. What I would say is enjoy the process, go for it, and have fun, because these things are becoming more and more normal. On another radio show I did the other day on enlightened awareness, which is on our main hall on the Pioneers College website for download if you'd like to hear it, I also talk about an experience I've had with Ikara, about erasing some of my neurosynaptic pathways. So that's kind of like in the same vein of what's happening here for you, only things aren't being erased, they're being activated. And so I guess that's my answer. If you have anything to add to that, guys. No? Okay.
We're good. Speechless.
Yeah.
No, it's just happening. What I mean is like it's happening for you as well. Are these things taking place with you as well when you are in your rooms alone at night?
Well, a lot of things take place. No, not really what you are talking about, but what I did see at some time, but that's something many of you probably have been having a lot already, just all of a sudden more colors, like I could receive more colors.
Actually, Claudia is saying here, thank you for pointing this out, Jeshua. I thought something was wrong with my eyes. Well, again, according to the brain, something is wrong with your eyes and it's trying to keep up. But the cool thing is that actually as the brain is trying to keep up, it's also developing new neurosynaptic pathways, which will involve, as Akara has been talking about in the Mastering Grand Illusion series, the neutral neurons, so that an interdimensional bridge can be created, allowing your brain access to these higher dimensions, and this then translating to your eyesight. So the cool thing about that is that your brain is actually becoming interdimensional as it is catching up to this whole process. Goranji here, what about electric flashes and matter?
Yeah, I have that all the time.
Yeah.
It happened for a while. It goes and comes.
And when I look at them, they go away, he says, yeah, I've had that too. I would actually translate that as, let's say, translation errors in the vibrational field around you. Basically, it's what has been described in, let's say, biblical times as an appearance when this beam of light all of a sudden seems to pierce through reality. But what that is actually the vibrational space opening up and your brain no longer being stuck in 3D matter and translating it that way. So these things are going to increase. And actually, if I can give you like an energy update report, I really think we are heading for some interesting times. Because I know that Akara wants to share in a little while something he said earlier in the Alchemy series about taking a measurement of the state of consciousness where we are right now with regards to this whole attributes thing. And that is going to be interesting. And as far as I already know about that, I know that a lot of you out there are really getting ready to go into some interesting experiences, if only you allow yourself to have them happen. And in line with that, maybe it would be interesting to talk about imagination a little bit.
Yeah, that seems to be coming up more and more. Well, I know that one of the things that that was recommended for me as I'm going through whatever this process is that I'm going through with the neck and the belly and everything, is to continue to say yes to it. So that it can just come on in, and so I'm really focusing on seeing what I could go into as labeling as discomfort, instead just seeing it as sensation and just saying yes to it. And then beyond that, really just any chance you get to push something a little bit further. Yeah. And I know we're gonna post it. It hasn't been posted yet, but starting a daily exercise for tuning more into your imagination, and so really opening yourself up to the idea that the imagination is actually what is real, and what you have been tied into as being real, the reality that you've known always is actually the illusion. So if you can really start to get that to become more and more of something that you plug into, and then when it becomes perfectly natural, then you can, move on. But to start working with really giving your imagination a lot more honor and importance than it may have before. Everything out there is really kind of to play the imagination down. But that's where everything has come from, is the imagination. It's integral to any kind of creativity. So
definitely.
And what I think is pretty nice about the imagination is that it's actually you just get joyous because you're imagining all those beautiful things around you. And
it's fun. It's just let go of this. We kind of get into this. The older we get, I think too, the more entrenched we get to imagination being silly. Yeah. And if you can just get more and more into really buying into the imagination, especially playing with the neocortex images and just really pushing it and allowing it to go as far as it can go. Yeah,
and it's clearly stated in Lorien's first opening message to the Alchemy of Ascension that with the neocortex projecting images onto the pineal gland, that the imagination can really be a portal. So especially when you're going through that whole sensory deprivation time, or where you really are kind of bunkering down, let's say, then that becomes very important. And there's actually something I would like to say about that, if I may, because again, I was talking to Adamus the other night, and he was sharing something with me, which I may want to share with you already. I know he's going to go deeper into it during his next Alchemy of Ascension message, but we may already go into it. Why not? I mean, time's now, right?
That's right.
So Adamus was talking about attributes, and actually where Akara in the Alchemy of Ascension series will focus mostly on the 12 senses and developing those in the part of the ascension process, Adamus Saint Germain will be focusing on the attributes of ascension and the attributes of alchemy. Now, what he means with that is that what is going on with many people right now with regards to the pain or the sensitivity in the belly and the neck areas and anything like that, really, he says that what is happening is there is a new type of Kundalini energy that is actually coming in. But this is not the Kundalini energy that we know, because we're, of course, no longer in an old energy paradigm. We're in new energy, right? So as Faye pointed out earlier today, it would be logical that a new type of Kundalini energy would interact differently with new energy. So he was talking about that and the fiery feeling that you can sometimes get. So he says that what has been going on with us in the development of our personality is that we have internalized attributes that are not supposed to be internalized. Now, what that means is that, for instance, in outside reality, a lamp somewhere in the room can have an attribute of being turned on or an attribute of being turned off. Now, this can also happen to a person. Anyway, or it can be green, or it can be blue, or whatever. This usually does not happen to a person. But anyway, these attributes are part of the external reality of things. And we have, in the course of time, internalized these attributes and added them on to our identity, which then created our personality. Now, Adamus talks about the external environment and the internal environment. He says that in the internal environment, we are not supposed to have attributes. And in the exploratory talk that he will do soon on the Alchemy of Ascension series, he will take you through a process to actually flip that around again, to externalize the attributes of things so that your infinite beingness cannot be hampered by parameters or things like that. So basically, the last thing he said that was interesting to share at this moment is that this new Kundalini energy burns the inner attributes away and restores balance. So again, a very interesting part of the process that we're going through, especially after 10 years of theory, I would say.
I know.
Yeah.
And that is also why so much is coming up right now, because it's just the burning that brings everything to the surface so it can go away.
Yes.
In my experience, too, I don't know if anybody else is, but it's stuff that I have not dealt with in a long time. In fact, I thought I was done with it.
Yes.
And then here comes these issues, and not only here they come, and I'm going to, where and what is this all about? But it's almost like, we've kind of raised up higher than, or at least for myself, than ever before. But then I'm dropping back to a level that I haven't been to in years, and it's like, man, is that fall not fun?
Yeah.
Not fun, and it's very gripping and intense. Is how I'm finding it. Is not. It's not. I wish this energy would come in and burn it off. So it would be over with. But that's been what I've been finding out. And it's old issues, like really early childhood, or like the other day, it was more adolescent type patterning that got instituted in my personality during that era. And I'm noticing that it is like patterning. Yeah. Not so much that it's beliefs or thoughts, but it's patterning. Yeah. That is, it's so intense and so extreme. It's also very black and white, so it's very easy to see it, and that is one good thing about it. It's easy to see it so that you can deal with it effectively.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, before we go on, I just want to mention that even though we have a lot of questions that were sent in, there is a possibility for you to ask your questions live on the air, either to us or maybe even Ikara, if that is possible. And that phone number is 001 if you're international, out of the United States, then 724-444-7444. And when you get through, you just enter the call ID at the bottom of your screen there. If you're watching through the computer, that's 48487. And then we'll see you come on, and you can actually ask your question, all right? Just to let you know that. Were there any other things, Ambika, that we have received that we would want to talk about right now?
No, you want to talk about the website.
Yeah, we'll do that a little later. Mm-hmm.
No, then it's all questions for the car.
Really? Are all those questions that we have gone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's the way it is then. So anything else we want to talk about maybe before we go into Ikara and do some of those questions? Okay, Goranji, I don't know how much a call is. You're asking that on the chat here. I don't know how much a call would cost you, but if that is a problem for you, you can, of course, just type it in, and we can always ask it ourselves.
Or call with Skype.
Yeah.
Or use Skype, yes. For many people who don't know that yet, because we're actually using the system right now, is www.skype.com. Skype is SKYPE, Skype.com, and it's a free service that you can use to call or video anyone on the internet, which we actually use for our private sessions, because our private sessions have opened up again. You can go to our website and go to sessions and see it there for both Ambika and Faye and for myself. And actually, we're also beginning sessions for Adam, Zakara, and Kutumi for now, and you can go to that page and check it out. But we use Skype for that, so we can actually have a video session with you, which is then recorded as an audio thing and sent to you either through snail mail or internet. And you can also use Skype to buy some credits, which actually is very cheap, because right now we're actually calling in at 0.017 cents a minute, so that's really not very expensive. So you can use that. Anyway. What, Ambika?
Someone wants to special with me. Oh my, I would give $1 million for that. Well, you're in.
See, we always do.
Once you type it on the board, there's no taking it back. Let's go on vacation, guys.
Yeah, right. Carol Hearn here. Lorian is my new lullaby. Yeah. Actually, that brings me to a question that was asked, and I think I can answer that, or we can answer that instead of Akara. Who was this person, Ambika, that sent in a question about Lorian? It was sent in today, I believe, near the bottom. Anyway, I can remember the question in the meantime while Ambika looks up the name. And the question was that this lady, I believe, every time she listened to Lorian, she fell asleep, or she goes into a different state of consciousness in which she no longer remembers the words or anything. Now, maybe you can read the question?
Yes, it's from Isabelle, and she says, I've listened to Lorian's first question.
Goranji writes, he's great in bed, I hear. I don't know about that.
Details.
He's pretty non-defined, I've heard.
I guess, you'd have to keep it.
Yeah. So anyway, the question.
Yeah, Yvette's question, and she says, I'm unable to stay focused and stay awake through the entire message, even in sitting position on a comfortable chair. I drift off to sleep or to other thoughts. Would it be a good thing to listen to it with headphones on while falling asleep, or must I be awake and focusing? I guess I'm asking if it would be beneficial to listen even while sleeping, or am I just not ready to get it? Thanks for your time.
I'm hearing that we're having a little problem with the microphones. So, Ambika, could you try saying something now?
Yes, I did all the time. I've been reading through that.
We've been waiting to silence you for a long time.
Yeah.
same light. Maybe it's too much, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be actually. I'm going to take one of them off. So if you guys just give me a minute here, we're kind of like, okay, I think one. Yeah, let's try it now. Can you say something, Faye?
Mine's live?
Yes.
Okay, I am saying something.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, I don't know what's going on with the system here right now, but I do know that last time when I was a listener, we had a little bit of issues as well, and when the show was finally recorded, it actually did sound good. So hopefully that will happen. Okay, Jeshua and Faye are good, so we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. So anyway, guys, to go back into Yvette's question.
Yeah. Well, it's something Lorian has been talking about too, that if you kept focusing, in the end you wouldn't hear the words anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that she's saying that it's difficult to focus.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, keep going through it so you can.
Yeah. What I really know is that the only thing you really need to focus on is the pineal gland, and that actually the words in this case are of a later, less of a consequence, really. You can integrate the words while reading them, for instance, on the website, or you can just really stay focused while you're actually doing something else. You keep the mind busy, and meanwhile you are actually listening if you want to take it in that way. And then in other times, I think it's good to go with it. I mean, for all these years now that we've been doing this work, Ambika has been falling asleep most of the time. So, and actually it's going on to a different place of consciousness, really.
It's Dolores always put me to sleep.
Yeah.
It still does.
Yeah. Oh, poor Ambika and Faye have to switch mics. And I hear that Ambika is a mic hog, so you're going to have to kind of fight for it, Faye.
You'll never get it back.
It's duality land here. So anyway, I hope that answers the question about Lorian, if that's question. How about you guys take over for a little while and I go change into Akara?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, well.
As we just hand the mic back and forth.
Yes. See you later, guys.
Maybe one of you already has another question, a practical question that we can answer, so we wait for Akara to join us.
Anyone, please? Otherwise, Ambika's going to have to sing. You really don't want to have Ambika sing. Well, I guess we'll have to come up with a question, Ambika. Okay, I'm going to come up with a question for you. Okay, you ready for answering questions? Okay, here's the question. Let me think of a good one. If you would share with everyone what has been the most prevalent symptoms that you've been having in the last month or so for yourself?
I have to say that my symptoms have not been that prevalent, but it's a constant tenderness of the belly actually for a while. But we've been talking about that a lot, so all the people already know, I think. Hello, Akara.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a honor to be here in this moment created for the expansion of all things.